You go to bed feeling fine. You had a healthy snack before turning in, something you believed was good for you. You fall asleep thinking you're doing all the right things for your health. But morning after morning, you wake up feeling a little foggy, a bit off. You dismiss it as just getting older. But what if it's not? What if a simple daily habit is quietly working against your brain, adding a layer of stress that over time can lead to disaster? As a brain doctor, I've dedicated my life to helping people understand that the brain is an organ, just like your heart, and what you do to it or for it matters. I've seen countless patients whose health took a turn they never saw coming, not from the obvious villains like fast food, but from something they thought was the pinnacle of healthy living: fruit. Every day, millions of people, especially those over 60, eat fruit thinking it's purely beneficial. And while many fruits are fantastic for your brain, some, especially when eaten at the wrong time or by people with specific vulnerabilities, can silently contribute to the very conditions that raise the risk for stroke. I'll never forget a patient I'll call Eleanor. At 77, she was a retired teacher, sharp and full of life, who was deeply committed to her health. Her blood pressure was managed, she walked daily, and her diet was her pride and joy. But one day she suffered a stroke that affected her ability to speak and comprehend, changing her family's life forever. As we dug into her history to understand why, we didn't find a smoking gun. Instead, we found a pattern. We found a small, seemingly innocent habit: a bowl of a particular fruit every single night before bed. What she didn't know was that this healthy habit was adding a little bit of stress to her brain's delicate vascular system night after night. It wasn't the single cause, of course, but it was a contributing factor, a piece of the puzzle that made her brain more vulnerable. It was Eleanor's case that forced me and my colleagues to look deeper into how even good foods can be harmful in the wrong context. So, what is this fruit? It's sitting in your grocery store right now. It's pineapple. I can hear you now. Dr. Amen, pineapple. It's full of vitamins. It has enzymes for digestion. And you're right. But the question isn't whether pineapple is good or bad. The real question is it good for you, and is it good for you at night? For a healthy 30-year-old, pineapple before bed is probably fine. But for an adult over 60, perhaps with high blood pressure, metabolic issues, or who is taking certain common medications, that same snack can create a perfect storm of metabolic stress that your brain does not need. This isn't about making you afraid of pineapple. It's about understanding 3 hidden ways it can challenge your system, especially when your body should be resting and repairing. Pineapple's famous enzyme is bromelain. It's known for its anti-inflammatory properties, but it also has a mild effect on blood platelets, which help your blood clot. Now, for most people, the amount in a serving of pineapple is not clinically significant, but many older adults are already on prescribed blood-thinning medications like warfarin, clopidogrel, or even a daily aspirin to prevent strokes caused by clots. When you start layering things, it pays to be smart. While eating pineapple is highly unlikely to cause a problem on its own, if you're on these powerful medications, it's a dietary factor you should be aware of. It's about understanding the total load on your system. This is a conversation worth having with your doctor, not because pineapple is dangerous, but because being informed is your best defense. A single cup of pineapple contains over 16 grams of sugar. Yes, it's natural sugar, but your pancreas and blood vessels don't make a huge distinction. A flood of sugar is a stressor. As we get older, our bodies often become less efficient at managing blood sugar, a condition called insulin resistance. When you eat a high-sugar fruit like pineapple right before bed, you're sending a sugar bolus into your system precisely when your metabolism is slowing down for the night. This can cause a sugar spike and an inflammatory response in the delicate lining of your arteries. One night won't cause a stroke, But night after night, this cycle of sugar spikes and inflammation can weaken the blood vessels all over your body, including the critical ones in your brain. It's this chronic, low-grade inflammation that is a major long-term risk factor for stroke. Finally, there's pineapple's acidity. For many people, especially older adults, acidic foods can trigger silent reflux or LPR. This is where stomach acid travels up into your throat while you sleep, often without the classic heartburn feeling. You might just notice a chronic cough, a need to clear your throat in the morning, or a hoarse voice. But this silent irritation can disrupt the quality of your sleep. It's been linked to breathing disruptions that can cause small dips in your blood oxygen levels. Your brain needs consistent oxygen, especially at night. Anything that interrupts your sleep quality, whether it's acid reflux, sleep apnea, or just stress, puts a strain on your brain and is a known risk factor for all sorts of health issues, including cerebrovascular problems. Let me be very clear. I'm not telling everyone to throw out their pineapple. This is about knowing your brain and your body. The risk we're discussing is most relevant for a specific group. You should be especially mindful if you are over 60, wows. And our body's systems naturally have less resilience, are taking blood-thinning medications including a daily aspirin, have been diagnosed with high blood pressure, atrial fibrillation, or have a history of vascular problems, are managing metabolic syndrome, prediabetes, or diabetes. Your system is already working hard to manage sugar, are prone to acid reflux or GERD, even if it's the silent kind. If you fit into one or more of these categories, a nightly pineapple habit is likely working against your long-term health goals. Before we talk about what to do, if this is making sense to you and you want to learn how to have a better brain, take a moment to subscribe and click the notification bell. My goal is to give you the information you need to fall in love with your brain and learn how to care for it. This knowledge is not meant to create fear. It's meant to empower you. So, what do you do? First, if you love pineapple, you don't have to break up with it. Just get smart about it. Eat it earlier in the day, preferably with a meal that has protein and healthy fat to buffer the sugar release. Keep your portions reasonable, a few rings, not the whole bowl, and simply avoid it in the 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Second, what's a better choice for a bedtime snack? My top recommendation is a small banana. Now, why is a banana better? The key is its incredible potassium content. Numerous large-scale studies show a correlation between diets high in potassium and a lower risk of stroke, as potassium is crucial for regulating blood pressure. Unlike pineapple, the fiber in a banana leads to a slower, gentler blood sugar response. They are also low in acid, making them far less likely to trigger reflux. For postmenopausal women in particular, some studies have shown that those with the highest potassium intake had a significantly lower stroke risk. Of course, if you have kidney disease or are on specific medications, you must talk to your doctor, as your potassium levels need careful management. What about other fruits? Be mindful of grapes and watermelon at night, as they are also very high in sugar and can contribute to that metabolic roller coaster. And please be wary of fruit juices. Most are just liquid sugar without the fiber, which has been linked in studies to a higher risk of metabolic problems. The point of this is not to make you afraid of the fruit bowl. It's to get you to think like a brain doctor. It's to understand that context is everything. A food that is healthy in one situation can become a problem in another. The story that a healthy food could be part of a pattern that harms your brain is a powerful reminder that you have to be the chief steward of your own health journey. It's about knowing why. It's knowing that pineapple is fine with lunch, but a banana might be a smarter choice before bed. It's understanding that if you're on a blood thinner, you should be mindful of your diet. This is how you take control. This is how you go from being afraid of doing the wrong thing to being empowered and having brain envy, the desire to have the healthiest brain possible. Thank you for your time. Please share this video with anyone you love. It's a conversation that could truly make a difference. And as always, talk to your doctor before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have underlying health conditions. They are your partner in health,